is it, family? This is Vega Boy, aka 저는 미국 사람입니다. And a lot of you guys have been asking me what are my favorite foods in Korea, because you guys know, well actually if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know what foods I like, because your girl be posting some Instagram food pics almost every day. In Korea they call it Mokstagram. Mokstagram. Mokta means to eat. Instagram is the Korean way to say Instagram, obviously. So if you go on Instagram and write in Korean hashtag Mokstagram, you're gonna find all the delicious Korean food. But these are the foods that I think are the best, and they're foods that I think you guys will absolutely love if you taste it, maybe if you like healthy foods like I do. So let's get started. So the first one that I like is called 콩국수. Very delicious. It's a cold noodle soup, and 콩 is bean and guksu just means, you know, noodles in Korean. What you do is you take like the soybean, they call it meijukong in Korean, and then you take it and then you soak it in water overnight. Then after you soak it in water, wait, I forgot. I can't think of how to make it. Anyway, basically you boil them, you soak them, you blend it up and kind of make like a soy milkish type thing, but you don't strain out the pieces of bean, you leave it in there, and then you can put like almonds in there if you want, soybeans, then you cut up cucumbers and you put the cucumbers in there. So it's like the crunchy cucumbers, and then it's cold, so I like to make sure it's really cold and I put ice cubes in it too. But when I eat it, instead of eating it with flour noodles, I like to eat it with 메밀국수, 메밀 noodles. It's buckwheat noodles because they're the brown noodles and they're like more tough, and I feel like it matches the texture of the 콩국수, whatever broth stuff, and then put sesame seeds on top. Mouth-watering. So the second one is Jungkook. Now, Jungkook is some fermented bean soup. It be smelling like some old dirty gym socks. I think I mentioned it before, but it is so good. Once you start eating it, you don't smell the sweaty gym sock smell anymore. I promise, you don't at all. But once you start eating it, it's so good. Like the beans are so tender and they have like a nice salt to them, not too salty, not too whatever's not salty. And they just put like tofu and various vegetables in it, and it is just phenomenal. And it's really good for you and healthy for you. You can eat all the beans you want. Maybe you're gonna be farting a lot, but it's good for you, okay? The fun Tteok gui. Tteok is this root. Looks like something you done found up in Harry Potter, but it's delicious. It even has like a meaty texture. It's very difficult to make because you gotta like take that shell off and stuff. And I actually made it at home too. Look at what I made at home. And it's very tender and meaty, but it's a root, and the flavor itself is not that strong of the root, so it kind of takes on the flavor of what you flavor it with. So you usually flavor it with, you know, gochujang and, you know, 마늘 and, you know, like shirpa and, you know, gochugaru and, you know, 간장 and, you know, 깨. That root can be so expensive though. Like if you go in a department store and buy it, it is so expensive. Like one time I treated myself, I spent $80 on buying a big box of roots in grass. But it was worth it. Anyway, so the next one is Nengi Jungkook. That is my junk, okay? It's so good. It's like nengi. It just grows as the roots around the farm. I mean, weeds around the farm. And it grows in America just on the side of the road. All this time we've been picking it and tossing it away, but actually it's something that we should eat that's delicious. So nengi Jungkook is just the nengi vegetables, but in like doenjang, which is the fermented bean paste, and it is delicious. In the springtime, when you get nengi everywhere around Korea, I like to get that nengi, and then I like to take that nengi and I like to put some doenjang, and then some gochujang, and then some maner, and then some 간장, and then some 참기름, and then you mix it up together, and then you just get it with your chopsticks, and then you eat it. Oh! Oh! And the next one that I love is 산 야채 정식. 산 야채 정식. And it just means mountain vegetable meal. And it is just a meal full of various types of vegetables. My favorite place to get it is at this restaurant. It's called Taesuhwa, and it's in Uileong시 in Paegun Hosu. And it is just, you get 14 different vegetables. 14! So my favorite one, and it has a crunch.
Yeah, I like this one.
This one, it has a very interesting crunch. It's called gungjae. It's so good.
Really?
Oh, that's so good. The thing I like about Korea is they utilize so many vegetables. Like, and actually I found out a few of my favorite like vegetables. One is soup, which is mugwort in English, but they grow as weeds in America. And I was like, wow, Koreans really experiment with all types of weeds and plants that we don't eat. So even with like garlic, right? They eat garlic stems. In Korea, garlic is maler, chung is like stem. So the garlic stems are also some of my favorite vegetables because they're garlicky and planty, so you don't really have to season them because they're garlicky already. And they also eat sweet potato stems, which I also love. I'm so hungry, I didn't even have lunch. I just woke up and came to the studio. So my final favorite is called 들깨 순두부. 들깨 is like this perilla, right? And you ground it up, right? And then you make this powder, and then you put it in the broth. So it even feels like porridgey, yeah. And then sundubu is just like the soft tofu. So I like to take the tofu and put it in there. So it's literally just the ground like perilla porridge with tofu dumped in it. And then sometimes you put like, you know, ehobak, which is some kind of squash zucchini thing, but it's not zucchini, but it's the Korean version of that stuff in there too, with like some vegetables. And then a variation of that is the 들깨 sujebi. Sujebi is just like hand-torn noodles. So like sometimes I like to eat it with the hand-torn noodles, sometimes I like to eat it with the tofu. They're both delicious. So there are probably other ones that I just cannot think of right now, but those are definitely my 6 top favorite foods that I be eating all the time that aren't as mainstream Korean foods, but they are, let me tell you, the best of the best. So if you happen to be in Korea and you see a restaurant and you see any of those words anywhere, make sure you need to go in there and get you some because it's good. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Like me on Facebook, and I will see ya.